Day 141 on the Hanamichi. Today marks the final video of this week's series exploring the word instrument, and what better way to end than to share with you something that took place at the Hanamichi headquarters this afternoon. It was the first ever time that I had the experience of wearing a formal kimono known as uchikake, and I'm extremely grateful and privileged to have the expert costume skills of Chikako Hirayama, who you can see helping me put on this kimono. So uchikake is a lined silk kimono with a padded hem, and it's a very, very, very formal type of kimono, worn really on extremely formal occasions like weddings or stage performances. So you often see high-ranking characters on the Kabuki stage wearing this type of costume. So you can imagine how excited I was to be wearing this kimono. First impressions, wow, this is heavy. This is about 7 times heavier than the other kimono I have been wearing in previous videos. So just getting used to that is very interesting. This is also the first time I've been wearing a kimono with long draping sleeves. As you can see, the sleeves in this kimono are very, very, very long. And they are known as furisode, which literally means swinging sleeves. And they would be worn by young women, young girls, unmarried. And here I am, wearing the furosori. Also behind us, you can see these 2 kimono stands called iko in Japanese. And they are extremely beautiful and specially made for kimono. So they support the kimono and give it structure and I think bring a whole another level or dimension to the kimono, because it suddenly transforms it into, an art object, I suppose, in a sense, because you're kind of looking at the designs in a different way to admiring them when they are on a person in a garment. And they're just beautiful, beautiful objects. So here you see the obi belt coming into its shape. What's interesting to note here is the obiage, the purple silk cloth that you can see being tied, is called shibori. This particular one's called shibori, which is essentially tie-dye. But this shibori is an obiage used for formal kimono, and it's got this very particular kind of texture to it. So not only is this kimono extremely formal, but the silk cloth, the obiage, that's been tucked into the obi belt is very formal indeed. And the kimono itself, I should say, is designed with chrysanthemums, kiku in Japanese, pines, as well as folding fan designs, and ume, plum blossom details. So incredibly detailed, highly embroidered silk, hand-stitched embroidered details all around the kimono. And now you see the obi belt being drawn tightly across my abdomen. We opted for a black obi belt with gold detailed designs. And that's just made me think actually about this idea that the kimono itself is comparable to a composition or an orchestra. Because if you think about all of these individual components that I've just been talking about, the obi belt, the obiage, the obijime, which are all individual parts that tie up and wrap around the obi belt. The nagajuban, which you can only see the tip of. You can see the white V-neck underlayer. There is a underlayer that's gone on before the kimono, which kind of looks like a kimono, but it's not. And then I'm wearing tabi socks. So there are many, 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 many components that are used in the process of wearing kimono. And it's only through the harmonization of all of these individual components that the music, the expression of the kimono as a total work of art is truly expressed. And so much attentive consideration, thought, creative thinking, intellectual thinking, Chikako and I have given to thinking about which kimono to pair with which obi belt, and even the cord that goes around the belt, the obijime. We've gone for a red one here, the obiage, the purple cloth. All of these are given sensitive thought, and it's because they all impact the overall effect of the kimono so much. And it's fun to think about how you would like to construct your orchestra or your composition. And yeah, just really interesting to observe how much this kimono would be so different right now if we chose to go for a white obi belt, for instance, or a gold one. So that's all very, very interesting, and not a bad way to bring to an end this week's exploration of the word instrument. Apart from that, tell me, who wore it better, Claude Monet's wife or me? And that's it. I shall see you in the next one.